Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bad versus Evil, the rule of not two. You guys know me. I'm John Matrixx. And as always, I have Road Rants on Star Wars. And Road Rants on Star Wars. Oh, we're having some audio difficulties. Can't hear you, Rhodes. That was just perfect timing, too. Because you guys, I was just about to kind of start until Rhodes came on. But thank you for joining us. We have 7 people watching right now and 7 thumbs up. Thank you all so much for the support. We see Ron Navy is already here. Ron Doe is here. And start dropping your names in the chat. I want to know who's here. Everybody that comes on, drop your name in the chat. We appreciate you being here. And Rhodes is still having some difficulties. And we had this issue before. We're going to flog Rhodes. I don't even know if he can hear you or not. Hey, you want me to resend you the link, Rhodes? Remember that happened last time. I'll just resend you the link. Can't hear you. Let me hang up and I'll resend you the link. Yeah, we had this problem when we were testing it before. So Maureen is here. Hello. Get Fit, Get Chits is here. Hello. 8 people watching, 8 thumbs up. This is working out fine. And there, Rose just popped up now.
Yo.
We can hear you. You are live.
Okay, cool. All right.
What's going on?
I got it worked out, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm just trying to get situated. It was our longest work day of the week, so.
I gotcha. I understand.
I'm gunning right now.
Yeah, Friday's a short day for me. That's why
it is our busiest day of the week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I live stream at 5 o'clock on Fridays, because it's early, easy to get home. You know, I run into a little bit of traffic, so.
Here's the question of the day. How's my video?
A little grainy, but better than last time.
I mean, if it starts going stuttery, is there a way I can cut the video in here so I can just have audio?
Yeah, if you actually go up to the top of Hangouts, you have the camera thing. You can just press that and it'll turn the camera off. But
will.
Yeah,
okay. We'll hold off on that until everything starts breaking down.
Gotcha. So let's get this show started. Technical difficulties are out of the way. Let's talk some Star Wars. Do it. So, what has been going on in the world of Star Wars? And
no Carrie Hart around. That's the big one. One of the big ones.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. I don't know too much about that. Maybe you can kind of enlighten everybody. But I heard if you go to the Star Wars website and you look up the leadership team, you can't find her name on there anymore.
She has been removed.
Yeah, and in case you guys don't know who Carrie Hart is, Carrie Hart was in charge of the Lucasfilm story group. The story group that has done an awful job, a terrible job. And that is a very, very good move if she's actually fired. That's my opinion on it. But Rhodes, you know a lot more about this than I do, so kind of enlighten everybody.
I'm gonna tell you what I also found out as I was researching this whole thing. Man, some of the resumes on there are they're pathetic. I was like, if you worked at a Burger King, you can work for Lucasfilm Story Group. I mean, really? I hate to say that, but it was basically if you had a degree, I mean, you didn't have to have hardly any actual industry you know, we're talking like you had one screenwriting credit on one episode of some TV show somewhere in like, you know, 4 or 5, 6 years before you came on board. In fact, Carrie Hart's experience was 2 screenwriting credits on 2 episodes of TV. That's it. That's where it begins and ends.
So let me get this correct. She had 2 screenwriting credits, but her job as the head of the story group was to basically link all of Star Wars continuity together. The 2 don't seem to add up to me.
Yeah.
So why did she get that job in the first place?
I think we know why. Kathleen Kennedy, probably. I mean, it's well, did you see did you watch the video that Jeremy posted earlier?
No, I actually didn't get a chance to watch Jeremy's video earlier. I saw that it posted, but I didn't get a chance to watch it.
It was an interview with Kathleen Kennedy, and all she's talking about is women.
Rhodes, we lost you.
Felt it was important. And at no point does she talk anything about actual qualifications at all.
Rose, we lost you. You froze up, and then so kind of start over again.
You still got audio?
Yeah, I still got audio.
Okay. She was going on and on about women in positions and making sure they get into positions, but at no point does she reference qualifications. Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk about being qualified for a job or picking out the right person that's qualified. And if you go into the leadership team, a great deal of them, you can see that it is reflected, because these people, you can look them up on IMDb, and it's like, I mean, they're all sort of the same thing. Like, I've got one, you know, screenwriting credit here, or I was an executive producer on one episode of some cartoon. It's just odd. I mean, I'm like, I don't understand how these people would have gotten hired into these positions, you know, with something so important as Lucasfilm. I mean, I thought I was going to pull up these people's qualifications and find, you know, credits, you know, linked to, you know, Cameron or Spielberg or something. And it's nothing like that. None of it. It's amazing. I'm shocked.
Well, it's all about being woke over there at Lucasfilm, because anytime Kathleen Kennedy talks, she talks about, you know, stuff like that. The Force is female. But when it comes down to actual Star Wars, she's clueless. She doesn't know anything about any of the characters. So when she actually sat down there with George Lucas and said, we're gonna honor the characters that George created. Now, I think she really didn't know anything about Luke, anything about Han Solo, anything about Lando. I really don't think she knew anything about that. So she was naive, I guess, when it came to the characters of Star Wars, because we all know she didn't honor them. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't care. She out and out lied to George Lucas.
Flat out lied.
Flat lied to him
on TV at that.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Flat lied to him.
So who do you think, if Carrie Hart was fired, who do you think actually pulled the trigger? Did it come from higher up like Bob Iger? I don't think it was Kathleen Kennedy.
I don't think Kathleen Kennedy's got hey, she wants to be on a level playing field. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy's got the balls to do it herself.
Well, I don't think she has the power to do it anymore now.
Well, okay, that's a great point. That is an excellent point, because it's my feeling she actually doesn't have any power anymore.
No, she's there because Disney does not want to look like they're firing a powerful woman in Hollywood. You know, because they're all about this feminism thing right now, and you know, equality and things like that. So if they actually fired her, which technically she got fired, but because they really wanted J.J. Abrams to replace her. We know that. That's a fact. But they don't want to come off as looking like a sexist themselves when all these people Lucasfilm always calling, racist and sexist. So Carrie Hart is a black woman. So I highly doubt we'll actually find out that she was fired, because then it's going to look like they fired a black woman.
It is. Yeah, it's the double death to the liberal media. It's a shitstorm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't know, man. It's odd. I still believe, and I made this video and this guy came on my channel and just dogged it out yesterday. But I connected some dots between J.J. Abrams and Carrie Hart leaving. And I did some research yesterday, and I basically had found out that he got a lot of pushback on The Force Awakens from Kathleen Kennedy and Carrie Hart on some of the story directions he wanted to go. And because they wanted the new characters to stand out. We heard that famous story, right?
Yeah.
And essentially, my feeling was, listen, we know Universal and we know Disney are the two front runners to land JJ in this mega deal. Well, if you're JJ Abrams and you're negotiating this mega deal, one of the things that I would throw out there is, why am I going to bring my services to your establishment if you've got somebody that's going to push back on me all the time?
Right.
Okay. So it's not just about money. He wants to be able to creatively do what he wants to do. Okay. And if I was Disney and I wanted the services of Abrams and everything he brings, Star Wars aside, because he's killing it, his other properties are killing it more than Star Wars right now.
Right.
If they want all of that, and he's about to go into the video game business, which, while we're at it, EA and Lucasfilm just had the big falling out.
Yes, I heard about that.
Okay. Yep. Well, it's awfully odd that Bad Robot's about to start this big gaming initiative, right? Where JJ is going to start making video games. And I find that awfully strange that they get out of bed with EA as they're trying to negotiate a deal with J.J. Abrams, who's starting. Think about that.
Do we actually know what J.J. Abrams had planned for Episode 7 before Kathleen Kennedy came in and butchered, the original characters?
No.
Okay, I was hoping that we would have found out the news.
I suspect that part of non-disclosure agreements probably has him having to stay neutered on that a bit.
Yeah,
that's my guess anyway.
I'm willing to bet though that
now if she leaves, you may either that or the only way you're ever going to find out is if he writes a memoirs.
Well, we can ask Mike Zero. But I really do think if JJ had his way completely, I think that Luke would have completely rebuilt the Jedi Order. And there would have been actual Jedi Order, probably with a Jedi Council, maybe. Or maybe even, maybe Luke is now a retired Jedi or something. And the Jedi Order has his own people, but he has to come back in the game for something. Because, originally, Luke was, in George's story treatments, Luke was on the island, but he didn't quit per se. And the character of Kira came and found him, and I think that he was going to, lead her and train her and stuff like that. So that's about the only elements they took from George that they actually kept, but the stories were completely different.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And Rondo says, "Go woke, go broke." Man, it happens every single time. Look at Gillette. Gillette went woke, and
the best a ma'am could get.
Yeah, they portrayed us all as like sexual predators, and you know what really bothered me about that commercial? This guy, the guy outside the restaurant, he's just standing there, and he sees this woman that he finds attractive. She just walks by him. He like looks, and he like just wants to walk over there and talk to her, and like the other guy stops and says, "Not cool, not cool." I'm like, he didn't do anything. How do you meet women? You're supposed to approach them.
Right. Now they're supposed to walk up to you, I guess.
Yeah, we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I saw that was the most glaring thing in the commercial I saw too. I was like, whoa. You know, and of course I flash back to my single days, 15 years ago, and I'm like, oh man, yikes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get, man, it's just Hollywood liberal media, all of the regular common man and everything. We see that commercial and we're like, that commercial sucks. But Hollywood is like, oh, it's so true and everything like that. And this is another thing. Yeah, this is another thing that bothers me too. Now, you heard about what's his name, Juicy Smollett, the gay actor from Empire.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He was attacked and everything, and now you got these people in Hollywood. They keep bringing up Trump in it. I'm like, okay, so two knuckleheads, decide to like attack this guy, and now it's Donald Trump's fault. And Ellen Page, who I like as an actress, she's going out there saying this is Mike Pence's fault. I'm like, oh my God. That's the way Hollywood is, man. You can't take anything anybody says in Hollywood serious anymore at all. Now I get that she's a part of the LGBT community, and that he actually believed that he was actually attacked for his sexuality because he's a gay man. So it just
but at the end of the day, what does that have to do with Trump? I don't.
Bingo. Well,
I don't care. I don't care if. Listen, let's say they are Trump supporters. They voted for Trump. That's still not. Trump did not at any point go on camera and tell anybody to start committing hate crimes.
Exactly.
That's people that just got a damn screw loose to begin with.
Well, this is the only connection. The word is that he was on the phone. He says he was on the phone with like his agent or somebody, and the two guys that attacked him said MAGA this country or something like that. So, make America great again, that kind of thing. Right. So that's what he said, and the guy that he was on the phone with said it too, but yet he isn't cooperating with the police when it comes to the police want his phone to see who he's actually talking to, and he doesn't want to give up his phone, and the guy he was talking to on the phone doesn't want to give up his information either. So that makes it look kind of iffy,
Well, again, I just, I try to break it down to the lowest common denominator. If somebody commits a crime, they don't ask for their voting record. I mean, if they voted for Trump, it still doesn't matter. Okay. The man has not got on TV and called for violence against, anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he actually came out and said,
people are freaking nuts. They're just nuts. It's got nothing to do with who they voted for.
Yeah. He actually came out and said that, hey, this is like the worst kind of crime. It's a shame and everything like that. He was on Juicy Smollett's side. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I can't. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce the man's name right. but that's what we have to deal with. And, we kind of got off on a tangent right there, but that's pretty much the way, Lucasfilm is going with all of the identity politics. And I don't think we're ever going to hear that Kathleen Kennedy is fired. If Carrie Hart is actually fired, we probably won't even know that too. It'll probably just be something like, hey, she decided to go in a different direction.
Well, we'll find out she got hired by somebody else, and then it'll be spun as, she took a better position or whatever.
Yeah, she's going to get another position. I mean, if you're in Lucasfilm, and you leave. You put Lucasfilm on your resume, and as crazy as Hollywood is now, you'll get another job easily. You don't even have to be qualified.
No, not at all. We got Geo Bricks, James Clark's in the house. Get fit, get chicks. Rob, everything Star Wars. Ron Navy, of course.
James Clark too.
Yep, James Clark.
Yeah, he says, I've written my own trilogy, a space opera. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Absolutely. Make a fan film.
Yeah.
We'll watch it.
Yep, I'll watch it. Don't have the money to put into it, but we'll watch it. Oh, man.
Oh, Rondo also. We got a Ron Navy and a Rondo.
Yep, Rondo was here one of the early ones. Hey, Dog Show is here now.
The
Says, hey, you folks.
Show.
Welcome, Dog. We have 13 people watching. We have 11 thumbs up. Let's get those thumbs up to 20. We need to get 20 people in here for sure. We'll get there. I noticed something about our shows. They kind of start off kind of slow with the views, but like 30 minutes into it, 45 hour into it, there's like 20 something people watching.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that too. I think we ought to consider maybe moving it like 30 minutes later or something like that.
Well, I was thinking that is
because a lot of people are still driving home and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, maybe next time we'll do it at 5:30 and
okay.
Yep, and we see Rob is here. Everything Star Wars is here now. What's up, Rob? Says like the stream, save the dream.
He's there and we're here.
Exactly. We're here. You're there.
So, if she's gone, what do we? I had a guy hit me up on Twitter about somebody that could end up replacing Hart that might be even worse than Hart was going to be. I can't remember the lady's name though. And then yesterday I saw where there was already a rumor that this guy Stephen Fetter, that was already employed by Lucasfilm as film development, may have taken her spot, but I haven't gotten confirmation on either yet. So,
well, this is the way I think on the story group. It needs to be completely disbanded. Completely. I mean, just let it all go. When George was running the company, he was the story group. He didn't need all these people, coming up with continuity and stuff like that just to destroy the story group. I think if you want to have a story group,
he had a story group that he worked close with, but Dave Filoni was part of that.
That's what I was just about to say. Just have Dave Filoni in charge of all the continuity. You don't really want to give him a movie so far, it seems, but let him be in charge of everything creative on Star Wars. That man trained under George Lucas. He knows more about Star Wars than anybody at Lucasfilm. Anybody. So, and I'm wondering now, is Clone Wars Season 7, is that going to be a continuation of what they already had? Because they already had like 3 other seasons already written for the Clone Wars. But I think Disney probably stepped in and, cut it down a little bit because they said it was getting too violent. I mean, that was the whole reason why they canceled it.
Do we think one season of that?
Say that again. You buffered up again.
Are we only going to get one season of that?
As far as I know so far, but I know that George and them, they had like 3 other seasons already written and ready to go. So,
well, I don't know why they wouldn't. They ought to just go ahead and release all of them.
But I'm not sure.
I mean, they don't have to do it all at one time, but just release one every year for the next 3 years, and then everybody another reason to consider getting the streaming service.
Right. And I'm starting to wonder now if the streaming service itself is really going to make money, because Disney, they lost so much money on I think they're in like Hulu or something like that.
It will not make any money for like the first 5 years, my guess. Now, for some context there, Netflix went like a decade before they turned a profit.
Well, yeah,
No kidding.
but Netflix, they were like the original guinea pig. Anytime you start a new business, you're not going to really flip a profit immediately. It's going to take
but they were
quite a bit of
going to.
time.
That's the one thing I'll say. I mean, I've seen that story a bunch, and I'm like, they were going to lose money on it for the first couple of years, but again, and we talked about this last week. I mean, you're going to get people like my stepdaughters that don't care about Star Wars that's going to get that service just for those kids, and to get to the Disney children's stuff, and that's what's going to drive that whole streaming service. And then all the extra subs they get from the Star Wars and Marvel stuff is just going to be like icing on the cake eventually.
Yeah, because I think what people are forgetting, at least in the Star Wars community, that streaming service, it's not a Star Wars streaming service. It is Disney completely, and Star Wars is just a drop in the bucket in there. I mean, the Marvel is going to be there, and they're going to have all this original content the way that like Netflix is doing right now. So, I mean, because the only thing that we know is going to the streaming service right now is The Mandalorian and the Cassian Andor series and Clone Wars Season 7. They're going to have a complete library of probably hundreds to thousands of, content on there.
I saw a number yesterday, 5,000.
5,000?
5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, 5,000 titles.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the only reason
I'm hearing it's going to be less than like $10. I mean, that's.
Yeah, it's supposed to be less than Netflix.
Yeah. So, although Netflix did just go up on me, so.
Oh, really? What did they go up to?
I think it's $14.95 now for 2 HD streams, I think.
Okay. 4K?
No, not the 4K. Oh,
okay.
So that means I wonder what people were paying for that.
Well, I have T-Mobile and I get Netflix for free, but I have the 4K. I wanted the 4K edition, so that's $3 a month for me.
Okay,
it goes on my it goes on my T-Mobile bill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's probably a few bucks more, but the 4K looks really, really good. So now,
I was looking at some of those TVs yesterday.
You know what? Now that we're actually talking about like the streaming service and everything, the streaming services really came out as an alternative to, pull the cord.
I know where you're going with this.
And, you have Amazon Prime, you have Hulu, you have Netflix. Now you're going to have the Disney streaming service. And if you have subscriptions to all of those, eventually that's going to be more than what you're paying for cable.
Okay. And here's the other thing. I had been telling my wife for years I was going to cut the cord when we got something comparable to either satellite or cable. And what that ended up being was Sling TV. I don't know if you've seen those commercials.
Yes, because I cut the cord for about 6 months.
Okay, so I cut and went to Sling when Sling came out. And then for the last year and a half, we've been on PlayStation View. Okay. Now that's actually pretty good. I will give you some context. Now, my dish, I had dish for about a decade. And for 120 channels, it had gotten to the point it was running me about $120 a month for 120 channels.
Wow.
But by the time you factor in all the miscellaneous fees, right?
Right.
And what I will tell you, now we recently left PlayStation View, but we're trying out Hulu. Hulu's got a live TV service now.
Yeah. YouTube does too.
I did trial run that while Cobra Kai was on, and it wasn't too bad.
No, I'm not talking about the that. I'm talking about they actually have a TV service where you can like watch your ESPN and stuff like that.
Ron Navy said, "What are you staring at on the ceiling, Rhodes?" And that is funny because on my webcam, it looks like I'm looking straight up.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm not. That's weird because I'm looking out my window right in front of me.
Oh, now you're looking. Now you're looking straight. Now you're looking straight at us. Everything Star Wars. Rob says $120 not bad. That is $1 a channel. No, okay, that's a lot of money, man.
Okay, what I was getting to was PlayStation View is $49.99, and I've got Netflix. What I will tell you is it's still half the price of what Dish was costing. It was about $60.
Okay.
So, I mean, is that still worth it? Sure. I mean, that's half the bill but I get your point. We started out at a place where we thought we were going to be spending $20 or $25. And of course, my issue is I have NFL Red Zone, and all that because I'm an NFL fan.
Right.
So, and that will cause me to not keep Hulu. I may keep Hulu. I like Hulu a lot. And like right now, I'm fixing to binge Smallville again.
Oh, I love Smallville.
And
my wife got me. My wife got me into that. I love Smallville.
Yeah, it's high. I think it's highly underrated. And that's part of Hulu is Smallville, and on demand. And I'm fixing to binge all 10 seasons again. So
wow. You know, that kind of brings me to something Star Wars related now. All of the Star Wars, Clone Wars, all of the Star Wars movies, even the new ones, they're on Netflix now. And of course, Turner has the original trilogy. So when the new streaming service comes out, Disney Plus, all we're going to get, I believe, is what? The Mandalorian, Cassian Andor. We know that they're not getting the original trilogy on there to at least 2024. And they have the Clone Wars too. I don't think they can get the Clone Wars on there either. And they have the Force Awakens on there, I believe, and Last Jedi is on there on Netflix. So can they even get those on the streaming service?
I don't think they can get their actual Disney movies.
No.
Because I don't know if you noticed, but the Star Wars movies were being shown on TNT this last weekend.
Yes, they were. I saw it.
Okay. Well, the reason they did that is because of the world television premiere of Rogue One that night. Okay.
And Rogue One is on Netflix too.
Right. And it's my understanding that the Turner deal, anything that's on Turner, TBS or TNT, will not show up on that Disney streaming service till 2024.
Wow. So Disney screwed themselves.
Yeah, they don't even have their own movies, I don't guess.
Wow.
The Last Jedi may not be part of that.
Well, that doesn't even matter because I'm not watching it.
Right.
But still, they did shoot themselves in the foot. So with this Disney Plus streaming service, you pretty much can Star Wars related just brand new stuff for the next 5 years.
Yep. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
That's such poor business management.
Very I mean, because you got to know they just didn't think of the streaming service, last year. I'm pretty sure they've been planning for this for years. And you would think they would have said, you know what? Let's not sell the rights to these movies to Turner or whatever. And we need to get this on our streaming service. Because now, I mean, I heard they tried to make a offer to Turner. I think it was something like $224 million, and Turner flat out rejected it.
Yeah, they gave him the Dikembe Mutombo.
Yep. No.
No. That's funny. I will say this. I think there's a third Star Wars series coming. I've seen a lot of smoke on that.
You talking about outside of the Game of Thrones guys?
No, a new Star Wars series besides The Mandalorian and Cassian Andor. I think
a third.
We just don't know what it is, and they haven't said anything yet. But that rumor's been around for over 6 months now, and it keeps sort of popping back up, and I keep hearing that it'll pop back and there's a chance it may be Obi-Wan, but that's all I've heard. The last I heard anything about it was 2 months ago. So I don't know.
Now, as much as I would love to see Obi-Wan on the screen, the bit screen,
yeah,
we can get way more depth on his character from the streaming service.
Agreed.
I think that would be
in series.
It would be a great
do it as a
series.
8 to 12 episode limited series.
1 hour each.
Oh, it absolutely. I mean, the depth, the storytelling they can go into, the talented directors they can build around that.
Yep.
Filoni will have already cut his teeth on live action for The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I think he's cutting his teeth so he can either become a showrunner over another Star Wars series or so he can go direct a Star Wars movie. I think that's what he's getting ready for.
But one thing for sure, if they do have an Obi-Wan movie or TV series, they have to consult with George. They really, really need to, because what they've done with all of the original characters from George, they don't understand them whatsoever. They have to, at least at the bare minimum, consult with George Lucas. If not, let George write the story. Just let him write the story and let everybody else handle everything else, because I don't have any faith in them doing right by Obi-Wan Kenobi without any input from George, you know. And
there was a rumor going around that George was going to come back and direct that movie.
I think I heard that briefly.
Well, I'm going to tell you where that came from. Some guy over in Ireland or Scotland or somewhere said that George literally showed up scouting locations for that movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I did a video on that.
I don't know if there was any truth to that or not. I mean, maybe he was trying to help out or something, you know. I mean, he has a lot of time on his hands now. You know, he's supposed to be opening up his museum or something like that.
Well, you know, I will tell you what will straighten Disney out. And I said this in my video yesterday. Come hell or high water, the shareholders will get this straightened out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That is what is going to save this whole thing. Because as they, and Iger's already had to squirm over Solo, right?
Right.
When he started coming up with it was a bad time of the year and blah, 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 blah. That statement came out right after a shareholders meeting. Okay. They had literally just had a shareholders meeting, like either the day he made that statement or 2 days or a day earlier or something. It was very, very close. And that's a man talking that just got his ass chewed out. When you start making public statements about, it was a bad marketing blah, and we released it at a poor time and blah. He was squirming because he had to answer for a film the shareholders probably thought was going to do $1 billion, and it did $392 million.
Now, I never thought that Solo was going to do $1 billion.
Oh, me neither.
I didn't think so, but I never thought it was going to lose money.
Well, I thought it was probably a $600 million movie, which would have been fine if Kathleen Kennedy hadn't shot 2 movies.
Yeah.
300 in the context of things, 392 million is about, I think Bumblebee's made a little more than that, but Bumblebee was shot at 135.
Yes,
well,
the production budget.
So, right. And Solo was 125, except she shot a whole nother movie for another 125.
Yeah,
so that movie was doomed.
Here's the thing with Solo. That movie cost $250 million production budget wise. I mean, just rule of thumb, usually marketing is like half of that. That's $375 million right there.
Yep.
And then the box office receipts, usually you keep about 60% of that. So let's do the math here real quick.
Right.
So what did I say? 250 plus 125. That's 375 million right there. Solo made 392 million. So 392, and they get to keep like 60% of that. So that's 235.2 million minus, wait a minute, hold on. What I said, 275 million?
375 million.
No. It was 375 million, marketing and production budget. The movie made 392 million. 235.2 minus 235.2. They lost like $157 million on that movie.
While you're looking that up, I'm gonna check something else because
I wasn't looking it up. I was doing the math.
Oh yeah, I know, but I've been keeping a sneaky eye on Solo's DVD.
Yeah, but that's like very little, because if you actually look at I think $80 million is what the Force Awakens did on Blu-ray DVD. Solo's not getting anywhere close to that. I'm thinking Solo probably got what, 30 million, maybe.
Oh no, as of I can tell you exactly.
Okay, find that out, because I really would like to know that.
Yeah, I can tell you it was combined DVD and Blu-ray was over 40 million back before Christmas.
Okay, it probably had done too much more than that then.
Okay, Blu-ray only is 35. And that's week ending December 23rd.
Yeah.
Okay. And it actually beat some surprisingly big movies on video.
Now, keep in mind also, when it comes to these production costs and everything, that the distributor
it made $50 million. It's made $50 million so far on
okay,
regular DVD and Blu-ray combined.
Okay,
and that's as of December 23rd.
Okay, now these numbers I was given too, I don't think that even includes the distribution costs also.
Right.
Those kind of things. Now, you really would have to look at a spreadsheet. Be honest,
Solo will eventually pull a profit, but they sure didn't expect to have to wait 5 years to do it.
It's going to take it's going to take many years to pull a profit.
I mean, look at Waterworld. Even it's pulled. They actually have said now that Waterworld's made like $150 million profit. Believe it or not, and at one time it was like one of the largest. Bust in Hollywood.
I mean, but technically, if you're thinking that way, pretty much every movie can make a profit then, because years upon years upon years,
Yeah.
But I mean,
they certainly didn't expect it to take 5 or 8 years to bring back the profit they were looking for. 6 months after release. And again, she shot 2 movies.
Yeah.
So,
but
that to me, I've said Last Jedi aside, Kathleen Kennedy should have lost her gig over Solo by itself.
Right.
The handling of Solo.
Now, it's not the easiest thing really for a movie to actually turn a profit. Most movies don't. Let's look at The Force Awakens. Let's look at The Force Awakens. Record-breaking box office numbers. It was like a little over $2 billion.
Yeah.
The actual profit on that movie, what Lucasfilm and Disney took home? It's like
my guess would be somewhere
like 800 million.
700 million.
800 million. But it took $2 billion to get that kind of money back. So a movie like Solo to actually break even had to do like $600 million at the box office to break even.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
It as much as like I've said, I enjoyed the movie. It was a movie that shouldn't have never been greenlit. Right.
And it had so many production problems. Yeah. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy should have been fired for all of the production problems on every movie. Every single movie had a production issue. Even The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens wasn't even supposed to have that story. I mean, they fired Michael Arndt. That he actually was writing the script with George Lucas.
Oh,
they let him go.
He was also one of the ones I read responsible for the whole. He had cut Luke out of the story a great deal. I did find that yesterday too.
Yeah, he cut Luke out. Oh, when after they threw out George's story,
he was the one that originally basically had cut Luke out.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I read that yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, and then from there you get to Rogue One. Rogue One had many production issues. I mean, Garrett Edwards actually, he was director, but he actually got fired, and they brought in Tony Gilroy to do the reshoots and everything and make it right. Now, they dodged the bullet there. The Last Jedi, pretty much the only one where they didn't have any production issues, and it was an absolute disaster. The only one.
Did you realize they accepted his first version of that script?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Bob Iger has to take some blame on that too.
He hates the movie.
Bob Iger?
He does not like the last. He liked The Force Awakens, but when Grace Randolph dropped that report where he had offered JJ that job, she said Bob Iger hated The Last Jedi.
But Bob Iger knew what was going on with that movie too.
Like he had seen the movie after it got done, and he had voiced that he didn't like the movie. So for what that's worth, they wasn't going to reshoot the whole movie, I guess. But what is amazing to me is Bob Iger is that pulled out of the loop that he wasn't seeing the dailies and all of that. I guess maybe he didn't understand how it was going to end up being edited together, but the final product he didn't like. No.
But I'm still going to blame him because he was seen to be a lot more involved with Star Wars than led on to believe, because
he's not involved at all.
Well, he pretty much fell on the sword for Kathleen Kennedy, though. Because because he was he was like, it's my fault, too much too soon, this and that, blah blah blah.
I think that's part of her parting package.
Yeah, that she'll let Bob Iger fall on the sword for her, and she comes out squeaky clean on the other side.
Yeah, because like I've said, I think she retires after episode 9, and let's say it makes $1 billion. Okay, they'll act like that's this big success, and then she'll retire, and that'll be her swan song. And then the liberal media can give all of us the finger, and we all know, hey, that movie should, it should do $2 billion.
Yeah,
but they'll claim a victory over $1 billion. I still think it'll do more than $1 billion, but what I'm saying is, you get my point.
Yeah,
they will have her retire at the most opportune time. Now that's fine. We win if she retires, essentially, because we know she got forced out by the fans. So.
Ron Navy brings up a point here in the chat. He said Garrett Edwards was a better film, but they didn't want the violence, hence the reshoots. He's talking about Rogue One, where I remember Garrett Edwards saying that it's called Star Wars, and this is a war story. And I think he's saying that Gareth Edwards' original cut was too violent. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. Tony Gilroy said that was a train wreck when he got there.
Really?
He said the whole movie was a train wreck. Yeah. He said they didn't have a movie, really. He said the way they had shot it, it was all over the place. By the way, he added the infamous cameo at the end.
Yeah,
Gilroy
I know that.
did.
That was it. Well, it
but-
wasn't.
and-
It wasn't.
and-
It actually, it wasn't his idea for it. It was somebody else's idea.
The interesting part of that is Gilroy is not a Star Wars fan. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I didn't know.
He said I'm not a Star Wars fan, but Gilroy is sort of known to be a fixer, a quote fixer director, where they can kind of bring him in and he knows how to take what people's already done and then add to it and blah blah blah. They should have brought him in for Solo, evidently.
Well, I don't think you even have to really be a fan to direct a Star Wars movie. You know, look at a lot of movies and stuff. Directors come in; they don't have to be fans of a movie. You know, like I don't know if Christopher Nolan is actually a Batman fan. I have no idea. I know the movies are really, really good. You know,
Or do we think Rian Johnson's a Star Wars fan?
he said he is, but
do we really believe that?
I
don't. I do not. I've said before, I don't think a Star Wars fan can write that movie.
Well, he said he went back and he watched the prequels a lot. Now, if he was some kind of diehard Star Wars fan, I don't think he would have to go back and watch a lot. But even so, I think even if you watch, make a Star Wars movie, yeah, you're gonna have to go back and watch the other movies, dot the I's, cross the T's to make sure what you're doing. But what he made wasn't even.
If I was writing one, I'd watch them all again just for the heck of it.
Yeah. I mean, but he was watching it a lot. He said a lot, but what he made wasn't even Star Wars. It was like part Matrixx, part the whole Force downloading thing. That was like the Matrixx. He was better off watching the Matrixx to make this movie, if you ask me, because
we got a couple of questions too after we get done.
All right, go ahead. What questions you see?
Dr. Breinstein, what do you guys think of the Star Wars Theory fan film? Do you want to go with that?
Sure, I did a video on it. Watch my review. That's it. Next question. Nah.
Okay.
Nah, seriously. I absolutely love the Star Wars fan film. Absolutely loved it. I mean, because I saw also in the chat, I think it was Rob or somebody said that Lucasfilm should hire Star Wars Theory to make Star Wars movies. And you know what? I'm starting to agree with that. Because what he captured in that movie was the essence of Vader's struggle. That's something that we had never seen before. And it actually felt like Star Wars to me. It really, really felt like Star Wars. The emotion was there, and he actually took, tidbits from pretty much all of the Star Wars movie. I mean, there was a Phantom Menace in there. I felt the Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith was in it. He even had a Star Wars Rebels reference, even the Force Awakens, with the, deflecting the blasters. He took elements of pretty much all the Star Wars movies except for The Last Jedi. Did you notice that?
Yeah. I love the movie. I mean, I like I've said this before. I like the practical effects of finally seeing clone troopers.
Yeah,
guys in suits. I mean, I just loved that. I thought it kind of grounded the movie a little bit for me right off the bat.
Also, he didn't have a budget for CGI clone troopers.
I like the fact that he took that. You remember the laser freezing scene where everybody shoots and then he freezes the lasers?
Yeah.
It was kind of like he said, "Hey, J.J. Abrams, hold my beer."
Yeah. Exactly.
Watch this. I appreciated Palpatine more than a lot of people did, and I think it's I've said before, I think it is a tough ass character to pull off. And I
Yes.
thought the guy did an admirable job. And the gentleman that played Vader was off the charts.
Yes.
I mean, he owned it. He owned Vader. I didn't have but one complaint, really and truly, and it is something you see with a lot of movies, and that's the young Anakin was kind of, and kind of, sort of cringy.
Yeah.
And hell, Jake Lloyd was sort of cringy. So I mean, hey, it's.
But you know that Star Wars Theory actually has a video, everything right with the Vader fan film, everything wrong with the Vader fan film.
Oh,
so
I have not watched that.
I haven't watched it either, but he's critical of his own movie too. He knows that it's not perfect or anything like that. But he brought us back to Star Wars. That was something we didn't feel in a long time, if you ask me. Now, he actually did say, I think he really wants to get into, filmmaking, but, filmmaking his own way, because he said he would, after he does the Vader fan film, he would love to make a Palpatine fan film. That would be really good, I think.
Yeah, you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes.
That'd be right down your alley. Yeah.
Definitely would love that. I mean, if I was a millionaire, I would fund him right now. Make a 2-hour movie.
Well, if I was a millionaire, I'd be doing this stream from someplace with a really, really blue ocean.
Yeah, Costa Rica, Cancun.
Right. D. Carey or Carey, he subbed to both me and you, I'm pretty sure. Any idea if they will link back to Galaxy's Edge to episode 9?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's happening.
Absolutely, because Batu is like a jungle world, and there's already been like leaked photos. Some people thought it may have been Endor, but most likely that is actually Batu. And
very likely it is the final resting place of the Millennium Falcon.
Yes, and the Millennium Falcon may be on his last rodeo here. It actually may happen in this movie.
If they let it land and set, I'm fine with that. But if they blow it up, it's going to be the mother of all road rants. I will just die. The Falcon's a character to me. In my Star Wars, the Falcon is a character, and it is part of my childhood. If they blow up the Falcon, I will cook their ass. I promise.
Well, someone or something.
And if Chewie and Lando dies, I will destroy Lucasfilm the night I get out of that theater.
I really think they're toast. They are definitely toast. I think one of them.
I don't, because I think JJ has gotten to the point he knows that's a running joke. I just don't think I think he's going to be like, you know what? We're not killing any more of these old guys.
Well, he killed Han Solo.
Let him go. Well, I know, but see, to me, I think that was, number one, I expected it. And number two, it served a purpose in the story. If they kill Lando and Chewie, there's just no real, I mean, at that point, it's just like, well, let's just mow down everybody old just for the hell of it.
But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. J.J. Abrams killed Han Solo, and he cut Luke out of the movie completely. So don't think he's going to be the savior.
Well, I don't know, but I like JJ, so
I like JJ too. I don't know if I like him in Star Wars.
I've always wondered about the Han thing too, because I'm the biggest Han fan in the world, and I've seen some of the objections over how Han was in The Force Awakens, and honestly, most of them I couldn't disagree with them more.
He was still Han for the most part.
Dad and all stuff. I'm like, really? We thought Han was going to be Father of the Year? When did we ever think that? I never did, not once.
But I never expected him just to walk out on his family and Leia like that, though.
Well, but she walked out on him too. They both went back to what they were good at. They said that to each other.
Yeah, that was after Ben fell to the dark side.
And we find out supposedly there's a scene coming in episode 9 with Han, Luke, and Leia together and I think JJ's doing that on purpose. Where we will see Han and Leia turning Ben
Ben
over to
over to
Luke.
Luke. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and the reason they're doing that is because evidently Han started noticing some dark side tendencies with Ben, and I
You mean
guess they were
Leia?
hoping.
You mean
Well, no,
Leia?
that from what I understand, Han was
Okay.
starting to see it,
Okay.
and so he's turning him over to Luke to, like, hey, make sure he doesn't go down that path, and we sort of know how, you know.
Well, in The Force Awakens, Leia said, that's why I wanted him to train with Luke. It seemed like it was Leia that wanted Ben to go with Luke.
Say it again.
In The Force Awakens,
Mm-hmm.
Leia says, that's why I wanted him to train with Luke.
Oh yeah, he did say that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just telling what I heard. The emphasis was on Han was saying that he noticed some dark side stuff, so that's why he was turning him over. But if Leia's there, you may be right.
Yeah, that's the way I saw it anyway.
And Ron Navy says Han was a great father in the EU. I know that, but I don't agree with it. Han was an anti-hero, and Han showed greatness in spurts. But Han was a criminal and a smuggler. And you guys know that is my favorite character. That's my favorite actor. If they would have portrayed him as like General Solo and, husband of the year, I'd have been furious. I'd have been like, y'all don't know Han. I would have been mad about that. Probably as mad as y'all are about Luke's character, I would have been mad about Han. I would have been mad about that. I'd been like, no way. Han wasn't going to be some career military man. That just wasn't Han. He was going to go back to smuggling or something, Han was sort of shady at the end of the day. I mean, he just was. It doesn't mean Han wasn't, at moments of crisis, a good guy. In other words, if his friends needed him, he was going to show in moments of crisis. But day in and day out, that's just,
Yeah.
I just don't agree that Han would have been day in, day out thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Guys, we got 14 people watching right now. We had 19 likes. Can we get to 20? If you haven't liked the video,
we held steady at 18 people watching for a long while.
Yeah. So we're doing pretty good. Let us get up to 20 likes. If you haven't liked the video yet, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thank you for the support. Now, as far as Han Solo in Star Wars Episode 9, I'm assuming that if they do that scene, they're going to get a stand-in actor, and it's going to be a non-speaking role.
It's going to be, they're going to cut it in from a scene taken from The Force Awakens.
So it'll be actually be Harrison Ford's voice.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they probably asked Harrison Ford, and he probably said, nope, I'm done.
I think it's one of the scenes that Leia was also in that they had shot, and they're just having Luke like step in. I don't know that that's what the scene was about when it originally was shot, but in other words, they may be having him step in, and then they're adding different dialogue or whatever, and then adding Mark Hamill into the scene.
They're gonna.
It is a mess. I mean,
they're gonna have to de-age all of them too.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Because Ben is about 30 years old now, and when did he get dropped off? When he was like, he fell to the dark side about 6 years before then. So he was like 23 years old. And so he was probably training another about 10 years before that with Luke. So I guess around 13, he started training, which in the old Jedi ways, that would have been too old to start training.
Right. Well, they sort of make this stuff up as they go now. It
Well,
seems.
Luke was 19.
That drives me nuts.
Luke was 19 when he started training, but that was different circumstances.
Austin Powers. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this string groovy?
I'm a sexy beast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's your 20th like, dude. Right there. Bam.
Ah, now I can see it. I have the actual live feed in front of me, watching me and you.
Yeah,
and,
I do too.
Yeah, so I can't exactly see the lights without.
I do too. And yeah, I realized he said Ron thinks I was looking up at the ceiling. Yeah, I am actually looking out the window. I'm just looking at the tree right in front of me that's in the second half of the window. But yeah, I'm looking at myself, and yeah, it looks like I'm looking straight up. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'd literally have to go that far up to look at the ceiling. But that's funny. He said that.
And guys, my video from yesterday, let me apologize for the audio. Let me tell you the reason why. I have a Logitech C920 webcam, and I guess I'm still on the old data and everything. And it's got to the point to where it stopped. It wouldn't load up to record. It just like timed out. So Logitech has this new thing called Logitech Capture, which is kind of like competing with OBS. It looks very, very good. However, when you record, it doesn't sync the audio together. So it looks like I'm talking when I'm not talking sometimes. And the audio is terrible that comes in. Absolute garbage. And I tried to clean it up as best I can, but I couldn't. So from now on, I'm recording all my video in Capture and recording my audio in Audacity at the same time. And I'm just mixing it in Audacity. And the 3 videos I have right now that I've already recorded sound amazing. So the video content is going to get way better. So I don't know why Logitech had it like that, because I have to basically mute the audio on from the video because it doesn't sync up right. So
yeah, that's kind of how I do mine. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I open it in Audacity, and then I end up having to mute it off my cam, later on.
Right.
And then match it up. And sometimes matching it up can be a nightmare. I don't know why. Wondershare can be a turd from time to time. But you use Photoshop to edit though, don't you?
You talking about
your videos?
No, I have VideoPad. I have VideoPad.
VideoPad.
Yes. VideoPad is actually it's pretty good. It's cheap too. It's only $50 for the full version of it. And you've seen the quality of my videos. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I have a Pinnacle Studio.
$70 for Wondershare.
Yeah, I had Pinnacle Studio. That was like, I don't know, $80 or $100, and had so many problems with it. So I just been recording on a VideoPad. Austin Powers sub to the channel. Thank you so much. He said, anybody else want to sub? Yeah, sub to Road Ransom, Star Wars, The Dog Show. Okay. And check out everything Star Wars too. He's here. And Ron Navy. Just check out everybody.
Check out everybody.
Check out everybody. Too many people in the name.
There's a good chance most of the people in here are content creators and good ones.
Yes.
So
Dog Show just dropped your link in there.
Subscribe to everybody. Subscribe to everybody else, and everybody wins. There we go.
Yes, because really good things are going to happen when this channel gets to 1,000 subscribers.
You're real close to 750 right now.
Yeah, I'm at 7. Let me see here. I am at 744.
Okay. Yeah. I got you at 743, but Austin sub. So
yeah. So I actually see the real time data on my end. So
yeah, that's good. Hey, real quick, I know this is not about Star Wars, but we was on something the other day and talking about it. Predator movies.
Okay.
why in the world do they have to keep overthinking Predator movies? Why do they not understand? Uh, can you cast an A-list action star and throw him out on some kind of terrain versus the Predator and let him go? I don't understand why. Is there a reason why Dwayne Johnson has not been in a Predator movie yet? Wasn't he originally linked to the Predator movies when they decided to start making them again? He was going to be Dutch's son. And
that would be interesting.
We keep getting these guys. I mean, Boyd Holbrook, and I get it. He was in Logan and he was in Narcos, but I don't look at him and think, oh, big threat to the Predator. Give me the old days, the Danny Glovers, the Arnold Schwarzeneggers, an action name and put them against the Predator. They almost sort of thought about having it right with Predators with Adrian Brody.
I actually like Predators.
I do too. I like it a lot, and a lot of people don't like it.
I don't know why they didn't like it. That was pretty good. But it was way better than this last one.
Oh yeah, that last one was trash. If they would have just taken him out and dropped, because the thing they always talk about is, well, the box office returns aren't great. Well, a lot of that has got to do with not casting an A-list action star in the lead role. You can't drop Adrian Brody in the lead role and expect that movie to do $500 million. Not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, who would you like to see as a star in a new Predator movie then?
Oh, man. I mean, just good grief. Look at the Fast and the Furious films and take your pick. Cast Dwayne Johnson, cast Jason Statham, cast Vin Diesel.
Now, Jason Statham, I would love to see him in a Predator movie. I love the Transporter movies.
Oh, yeah.
Transporter movies are great.
That first one, when he's running towards the door and kicks it in, is still phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could even see Michael B. Jordan starring in a Predator.
But that's sort of one of my rants, too, is the fact that we as a society have become too good for action movies. It drives me nuts. Like, gone are the days of 80s and 90s action movies, Chuck Norris, even movies like the old American Ninja movies. Did you ever watch those?
I love American Ninja.
Michael Dudikoff.
Michael Dudikoff and Steve James.
Steve Jones, that's right.
No, Steve James. Yeah. Steve James. Now, American Ninja 2, all these movies were low budget. I mean, because they were from the old Canon films. The Canon Film Group used to make nothing but like ninja movies. And American Ninja 2, you could tell that it's like lower budget, but man, the action, the fighting, Michael Dudikoff wasn't great at fighting. Now, Steve James was an actual martial artist, you can tell.
Right.
But if you haven't seen, I think there's like 5 of them, I believe.
Yeah.
There's 5 of them.
I'm sorry. I enjoy those movies. I miss them.
Me too.
Marked for Death, Hard to Kill. My God, Kickboxer, Bloodsport,
Revenge of the Ninja.
Yeah. I mean, remember the ones that Don the Dragon Wilson was in?
Oh, yeah. I don't like Don the Dragon Wilson.
I mean, it just, and somewhere along the lines, about 1997 or 98, people decided they were just going to quit watching those movies. And the Canon Group fans out to dry.
The problem is the Canon Group went bankrupt, so they went out of business. They were making all these low budget action movies. I mean,
right.
But even like Commando wasn't a bit budget action movie. It had Arnold in it, but it wasn't a bit budget movie. And that movie is great.
Well, people don't even want to go see an Arnold movie anymore. I mean, that's kind of my point. It's just, Bruce Willis movies can't even make money anymore. He's tried and he can't even, he's got to go back to glass.
I think carry a movie anymore. I think it's something about, Arnold being 71 years old, but Arnold also hasn't really came out with a whole bunch of movies where he's the main star too.
Right.
What does he come out
He's
with?
made some interesting movies though. Did you watch the Arnold movie? God, I can't remember the name of it. Where his daughter dies in a plane crash.
Yes,
Have you
that's what I
seen
was
that?
thinking. Yes, I like that
That was a
movie.
good flick.
That was a
Yeah,
good movie,
very
and
good flick.
nobody knows about it. Nobody knows
Arnold
about
had
it.
a hell of a lot of depth in that movie.
Yeah, and then that was based on a true story too. And Arnold goes to prison for murder. In that movie because
Yeah, we got people all over this thing saying Arnold's a badass. Arnold's a badass.
yep, Stallone too, man. Like
Oh yeah, Cobra.
Cobra. I
Oh
love Cobra, man.
God, John Matrix getting fired up just thinking about these old movies.
What do you think the name John Matrix came from? It came from Commando.
I know it. I know that.
Remember, Sully, when I told you I was going to kill you last? Yeah, Matrix, you did. I lied.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I used to watch Commando like all the time when I was a kid, all the time. And I have Conan the Barbarian on DVD in here somewhere. But I have Commando on DVD too. Pretty much every Arnold movie I have. True Lies is just so great.
A work of art.
So great. And that was going to be a True Lies 2, but Arnold
Yeah.
decided to run for governor.
Yeah.
So
yeah. They're just naming them off in the you know, Petros is like cliffhanger, you know.
Yeah, Expendables. I love Expendables.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I mean. Now they got to put like 12 names together to get anybody to go see the movies, you know?
Yeah.
It just drives me nuts.
Yeah,
and there's no new breed of anybody coming along that's going to like, you know, The Rock is the only one. And hell, The Rock's what, 51 now?
No, The Rock is like 45 or something. But to me, The Rock is a bit overrated. I would never put The Rock in a class of Arnold and Sylvester Stallone when it comes to action movies. Actually, a lot of his movies aren't that great to me. Now,
you don't like The Rock, really?
What really good movies has he really been in?
Well, he's not making anything that's, you know. Of course, we're also seeing this through the glass of our childhood.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
You know, so you know, there's kids growing up now that think you know Dwayne Johnson's larger than life, just like he did Stallone.
Kids, let me tell you something. If you don't know how big Arnold was in the 80s, I mean, his movies like Red Heat was really good. Arnold did not make a bad movie in the 80s. He didn't make he didn't have a flop until Last Action Hero. And that was like 1993.
Well, listen, I like Twins.
Oh, I love Twins.
Yeah.
Twins is so funny because that was the first time you saw Arnold in a comedy. Him and Danny DeVito, and of course, they don't look anything alike in it. And they're supposed to be making a movie called Triplets with Eddie Murphy. That's been a rumor. Oh, man. That would be funny, but Eddie Murphy hasn't been funny in a long time.
Yeah, the dog's got it right. The Expendables versus the Predators. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The dog show also said where is it at? End of Days didn't suck. I like End of Days. That was a different type of movie.
I do too.
That was a different kind of movie. And there was another Arnold movie too.
Was that Gabriel Byrne?
Yeah, Gabriel Byrne. He was playing the devil.
Yeah.
That was another.
I remember that got a lot of shit for the whole, you know, the devil versus machine guns. And I was like, yeah, it's awesome. I was like, what's the problem there?
Yeah, that was another Arnold movie. I was just thinking of it.
Eraser. Is it
Eraser was great. Him and James Caan was in that movie, and Vanessa Williams. She's in that movie too. I think that was really because that came out in 1995. That was Arnold's really last big hit. Because after that, he did Batman and Robin, flop, and End of Days.
That was earlier though, wasn't it? Like 93?
No, End of Days is 1999.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it wasn't a big hit. and he did the 6th Day in 2000. That was a flop.
I saw all those in the theater.
Yeah, and then pretty much after that, he did Terminator 3 in 2003.
Which
that was
everybody hates, and I still like, kind of, to be honest with you.
I like it. I like it way better than Terminator Genesis.
But I do not like it better than Terminator Salvation.
I like Terminator Salvation a lot.
I love it. I watched it again. It's on Netflix right now. I watched it last week.
I have it on Blu-ray. It's better than Terminator 3.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I told you we ought to do our top 5 favorite actors, but while I'm throwing it out there, Christian Bale's my second favorite actor.
Okay, what's your top 5?
Oh man.
Past, present, all time, doesn't have to be current.
Yikes. I can tell you my first 2. Harrison Ford's 1, Christian Bale's 2. I'm going to say right offhand, number 3 would be Mel Gibson.
Okay.
Number 4, probably Arnold. And number 5, that would probably be my tough one. Number 5, I'd have it'd probably be like a 12-way tie or something.
Okay.
But that's my top 4, I can tell you for sure.
Okay.
Actually, Mel's probably more like 4 and Arnold's more like 3.
Okay.
So
I did a video on this, I think, way, way early. I can't remember the exact order, but I think I had like Wesley Snipes at 5. I had Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. Blade, man. Man, Wesley Snipes.
It's so good.
Passenger 57, man. I love that movie.
Oh man.
So
what was that line he dropped in that movie?
Always bet on black.
So good. That's it. Oh, so good.
Yeah. So what I had
God, so good.
Wesley Snipes. Who did I say? Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jackie Chan, and I know I had Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee at number 1.
Wow.
Bruce Lee. Man, I love Bruce Lee movies, man.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee was a game changer.
Jackie Chan's number 2.
Jackie Chan is great, man. Have you seen
I have not seen a lot of the overseas stuff.
Oh man, watch his 19 Snake what is it called? Snake and Crane Art of Shaolin. That is great. It's in Cantonese, and then he had in Cantonese it's called Jun Kyun, which is Drunken Master. Part 1 came out in the 70s. Then he came out with Jun Kyun 2, which was released in 1993, but in 2000 they released in the United States as The Legend of the Drunken Master. That is some of the best martial arts you'll ever see in your life.
Wow. Okay, I'll check it out.
I'm telling you, it is amazing. Yeah,
man, I forgot about Wesley Snipes. He might.
Wesley Snipes
might be number.
Snipes
might be number 5 on my list actually, because
Snipe has to bump off Bruce Willis. He has to bump off Bruce Willis.
Oh no, Bruce is 5. Yeah. He's a clear 5. Yeah.
Because
Die Hard.
Snipes in his prime. Wesley Snipes in his prime never had a bad movie. Never. Man, I may have to watch Passenger 57 tonight.
I gotta give Bruce the nod over Wesley, and it's only because of how phenomenal Pulp Fiction was.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's an off the charts great movie. I'm a big Tarantino guy, like massive Tarantino guy.
I'm a Tarantino fan too. I mean, Pulp Fiction is one of the top 10 movies of all time.
It's in my top 20 probably. Yeah,
it's up there. And another movie that I like too. Oh, Morgan Freeman. He's not an action star, but Morgan Freeman is one of the best actors of all time. I absolutely love The Shawshank Redemption. That's one of the top 5 movies ever.
Oh yeah, that's also in my top 20.
Yeah, and it's amazing. That movie has no action at all. None.
I was gonna do a video on my top 10 movies of all time, and you start with a list and then you start like trying to condense it,
Right.
And I didn't really get further than about, I think, my top 22 or so or something like that. But it was amazing some of the good movies I cut out of that list. I was like, if you were on a desert island and had a DVD player and a TV, and these were the only movies you were going to get to take, what would those movies be? And that's your greatest movies of all time, right?
Well, I will say this. If I could only take like 10 movies,
Yep.
these are some of the movies outside of Star Wars, because we already know how I feel about Star Wars.
Right, right.
Ben-Hur with Charlton Heston.
Really?
Ben-Hur with Charlton Heston is an all-time great movie. Absolute classic. I love it. Also, Planet of the Apes, Charlton Heston. Charlton Heston is one of my favorite actors of all time. The first Planet of the Apes movie, it's an all-timer. And of course, the 10 Commandments also with Charlton Heston. Charlton Heston has 3 of the best movies ever. Easily.
Okay. Okay.
You didn't like Ben-Hur?
I am one of those snobs that don't love old movies.
Huh.
Like pre-1970, I'm like, nah. Like It's a Wonderful Life, hated it.
It's a Wonderful Life it's overrated, man. It was like really, really dragging
to me. I know people love that movie, but I just can't. Now, those Planet of the Apes movies, yeah, I mean, I can remember watching them as a kid, but they just didn't resonate with me, you know?
Rondo brings up a good one. Airplane, one of the funniest movies of all time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Leslie Nielsen, man. The Naked Gun.
Yeah, Dalcho agrees with me. He has Ben-Hur number 1.
Yeah, yeah, I know. He did a list. Him and the Westerosi Ninja do a live stream, and every now and then they do, top actors, top movies, and all this sort of thing, and top villains and all that. And it's a great stream. So make sure you guys check out the Dog Show and Westerosi Ninja. They do a great tandem stream together. I will tell you this. I'm looking at my list. I actually had it wrote down. Here's the movies that got cut out of my list.
Out of your top 10.
Terminator out of my top 25.
Top 25
movies got cut out.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. What is it?
Smokey and the Bandit got cut
out.
Wait.
You said Terminator what?
Salvation got cut out.
Oh, okay,
okay. Not make the cut.
I thought you said Terminator 2. I was like, that's blasphemy.
No. Terminator Salvation did not make the cut.
Okay.
Halloween, the original, did not make the cut. That's saying a lot for me because I'm a big horror fan.
Yeah, me too.
Deliverance did not make the cut.
Didn't see it.
310 to Yuma did not make the cut. You have not seen Deliverance?
No, didn't see that other one either.
With Burt Reynolds, man, you need to get on that.
I'm not a huge Burt Reynolds fan. I love Boogie Nights. I love Boogie Nights. That was funny.
Man, and you're from Texas.
I know,
son. You're supposed to.
I grew up on Smokey and the Bandit though.
Okay, well, Smokey and the Bandit did not make the cut. Jackie Brown did not make the cut.
Oh, I like
Pulp
Jackie
Fiction
Brown.
did not make the cut.
What?
Predator did
time out. Pulp Fiction did not make your top 25.
No, it didn't.
Man. Okay, go ahead.
Did not make it. And Goonies did not make it.
Okay.
And The Karate Kid Part 2 did not make it.
Oh, but my wife loves that movie. We watch that movie a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I like it a whole lot, but yeah, it ended up getting axed out. So anyway, that's the ones that didn't make the cut. And actually, I've got a couple of my list made up here, but I don't think it's the final draft.
The Dog Show brings up another good movie, The Thing, 1982, with Kurt Russell. Love that movie.
That's a good one. Yeah, The Longest Yard, the original. That's a good one.
Yeah, Petros ZR brings up 300 and Troy. Now, let me talk a little bit about 300. I absolutely love 300. Jeremy Geeks and Gamers keeps saying on his videos that he does not like 300. I'm like, what? And I asked him the other day. He was like, why didn't you like it? And he's like, I didn't like the way it was shot, the animation, CGI, and stuff like that. Everybody was like, man, the movie's great. And I told him they shot that movie to replicate Frank Miller's novel. Because if you look at Frank Miller's 300 novel, it has this certain animation to it. And that's exactly what Zack Snyder recreated in that movie. 300 is an all-time great movie, man.
Jeremy hates Zack Snyder.
I know.
He hates him.
I know he
does. And I'm a Snyder fan. Like I am. I'm Dawn of the Dead. That is arguably the best horror remake ever. I mean, that is the cool zombie movie.
Well,
100. Of course, I'm a much bigger DCEU fan than Jeremy too.
But, well, I think Jeremy I think Jeremy is a bit DC fan, and Superman is one of his favorite characters. But Jeremy didn't care too much for Man of Steel, so I think that's why he's kind of hard on Zack Snyder.
To tell you this, what I will tell you is here's my top 5 movies of all time.
Okay.
I'm about to drop a bomb right here.
Drop it.
Number 1, The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Number 2, The Dark Knight.
Yep.
Number 3, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ooh, okay.
Number 4, Tombstone.
That's a good one, but I don't know if it's top 5.
And number 5, A New Hope.
Okay. Now my top
5.
My top 5, I don't want to put them in any order, but The Dark Knight is definitely in the top 5. That movie should have won Academy Award for Best Picture. It should have been nominated for Best Picture easily. So let me just put Star Wars, George Lucas Star Wars as a whole. It's so hard. Even though I do say Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie, it's not the best made Star Wars movie. That's probably Empire, but I enjoy it the most. So when I talk Star Wars, George Lucas, I'm just talking about all of his 6 movies together. So I hate to be nitpicky about Star Wars. You can't put all 6 Star Wars movies in the top 5, you know, because there's only so many spots. So Star Wars in general, George Lucas is in there. Ben-Hur is in my top 5 of all time. Love Ben-Hur. Man, Ben-Hur is so great, man. So great.
I guess I'm going to have to break down and watch it. It's on all the time.
Man, you have to see it.
I've tried to like sort of skirt around it and watch it. And, you know, that cringy reinstated. Is that a color movie from the get-go or?
I think they may have shot it in black and white because it came out in 1959. But
it had to be white for sure.
But man, the chariot race is just so great. The story is just so amazing, man. It's very, very long. This movie's so long they actually have an intermission in it. And then and it comes on Blu-ray. It comes on 2 discs. At least the ones that I have.
The dog show loves that movie.
Yes,
the dog loves it.
Yeah. So how about Terminator 2? Probably has to be in there. I never really thought about my top 5.
Okay. Start your top 5 again, and if one of yours matches up with something in my top 20, because I'm looking at it, I'll throw it out where it ranks.
Okay.
On the list.
Okay. So we already started. Well, Ben-Hur, you already know where that's at.
Yeah.
Star Wars, we already got that out the way.
Number 5.
What did I say? Dark Knight. We agreed on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Terminator 2.
I got it number 9.
Okay. Who's ahead of it? Who's ahead of it from 6 through 8?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I do want to know.
6 is Jedi.
Okay.
Number 7 is The Force Awakens.
Let's end this stream number right 8. Now. The Force Awakens.
8. Yeah. I told you I had it ahead of
the Force. Oh, no. Time out. The Force Awakens over Terminator 2.
Yeah.
That is just utter blasphemy. Just blasphemy.
Well, listen,
I'm going full Stephen A. Smith on you. You should be banned from talking movies.
If the movie was ahead of Return of the Jedi at one point, and Jedi is 6th, of course it makes sense that it would be on the list somewhere.
I mean, Terminator 2 below The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I'm going full Stephen A. Smith now. You should be banned from talking movies, man.
Hey, that is the power. I want you to look at my list a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, and let me look at my whole list. 6. I got 6 Harrison Ford movies on here.
Okay.
So
I want to know in the chat. Time out. I want to know in the chat.
They're gonna kill me for that.
Is the Force Awakens better than Terminator 2? Just yes or no in the chat. That's what we got to know.
Of course they're gonna say no.
Have you seen your doctor lately?
We're still going here. Are we still going? Go.
Yeah, we're still going.
Okay. Evidently, I stopped the show for
Ron Navy. Ron Navy said no. Come on, everybody else, tell me if Rhodes is right or wrong. Ron don't know.
Yeah.
Dr. Bronson say I agree.
Yeah. Somebody just said episode 4. Yeah, no, I have A New Hope 2 spots ahead of The Force Awakens.
No, the question is he has
5. It's 5.
The thing is, Rhodes Rants on Star Wars has The Force Awakens above Terminator 2 on his all-time list. Is he right?
Well,
yes or no?
I've got 8 movies ahead of Terminator 2.
I mean, but that doesn't really bother me. But The Force Awakens,
I've got Unforgiven ahead of Terminator 2. With Clint Eastwood.
Ron Navy says Rhodes needs a lobotomy. Now, where would you put Titanic at? I saw something about Titanic in there. I love Titanic. I'm not going to lie. Titanic
wouldn't be in my top 500.
I got to tell you this.
I hate it.
I got to tell you this. When I actually went to see that movie in the movie theater, I didn't know it was like a love story anything. I thought it was going to be like A Night to Remember. You ever saw that, the old Titanic movie? But man, that was like the most emotional movie I've ever seen in my life. Now, where would I put it? It's probably top 10. Probably top 10. But it's just, man, it's hard. Yeah, Titanic.
I'm not going to ask for your man card, but I thought about it.
Dude, let me tell you this. I went to see that movie. I went to see that movie with 3 of my guy friends because none of us knew it was that kind of movie.
I took my mother to that movie.
No.
It's like a present on Mother's Day or some crap.
Me and 2 of my best friends I grew up with, we went to see the movie. And we had no idea. We thought it was going to be like an action kind of movie or something. We had no idea it was a love movie. And man, when that baby was like floating in the water, man, we like looked at each other thinking, all right, y'all about to cry. I mean, we were like on the edge of tears.
Were you like, where's Shelley Winters at? Did you think it was the Poseidon Adventure all over again?
Ooh, okay. Rocky. Didn't think about that.
Rocky. I got Rocky 4 at number 10.
I love Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite Rocky movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's my favorite too.
I've got the original Rocky number 15 on my list.
I actually like Rocky 2 better than Rocky 1.
I like the fact that it was a tie in the first Rocky for some reason.
And then those first 4 Rocky movies are so hard, man, because Mr. T was a great villain in Rocky 3. Hey boy.
It's hard for me to get past Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude was a brick house. I mean, it was ridiculous.
If he dies, he dies.
I guess since we're just here, number 11, The Temple of Doom.
Okay.
Number 12, Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Number 13, Casino. You ever seen Casino? I love gangster movies.
I think I may have seen it once.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it like 25 times.
Where's the Godfather and Godfather 2 at? Those
this
all
is going to be in an interesting one because a lot of these people may not realize I ran a for years and years. So I love horror movies, and it afforded me the ability to get to talk to some of the people that are in the horror industry. And this particular movie is that I'm about to read off. People are going to be like, "This made your top 20," but I've got a special connection to this movie. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
I like that movie.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big. It's the last movie of what we call the Tommy Jarvis trilogy.
Yeah,
which, by the way, had a Last Jedi. Did you realize that?
Say what?
Friday the 13th had its own Last Jedi. Okay. We had a great movie in Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
I love that
And then
movie.
they made A New Beginning, which did not have Jason in it. It was
A New Beginning was
AKA The Last Jedi. Yeah.
That's what Jason's. That's what Jason was like, going from body to body.
No. You're thinking Jason Goes to Hell, and that sucked too.
That was horrible.
Yeah. Number 15.
Oh, Rocky. I know what it is. That's where you find out that at the end it was like a copycat Jason wannabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 15, Rocky. Number 16, True Romance.
I don't think I've seen
Tony Scott movie written by Quentin Tarantino. Number 17, The Rock with Ed Harris.
Yeah.
And
Sean Connery.
And Sean Connery. Yep. Number 18 is Inglourious Bastards.
I love that movie.
Number 19 is The Karate Kid, the original. And you know what? Actually, I stopped at 19. Oh, which one of these honorable mentions ought to make it in?
You know what? I just thought of a movie that's probably should make your top 25.
I'm gonna put Pulp Fiction at 20.
How about Gladiator?
So, oh man,
Gladiator is great.
Yeah, that's a tough leave out, isn't it?
Gladiator. Yes,
I love that movie.
Also, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs definitely top 10. Ooh.
You know, I left out Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I left out Goodfellas, which is another one of my, I mean, like I said, I love gangster movies.
Godfather 1, Godfather 2.
They did not make the list, but I have an appreciation for them.
Yeah. Ooh, Godfather 2, man. Man, I just love Godfather 2. Godfather 1 is good, really good too. But Godfather 2, that's a top 10 all-time movie. Easily.
What's the I like the other one with oh man, The Departed. I like that movie too.
Yeah, that was good.
With Leo and Jack Nicholson. Yeah.
What about the Lord of the Rings?
Man, you're gonna get me killed in nerdom over here, but I mean they're okay, I guess. I did not like the first one at all. Fellowship of the Ring. I almost fell asleep in the theater watching it. Like I nodded real hard in it.
Oh,
now
Ron Navy just sorry, hold on. Ron Navy, I got my other one in the top 5. Shawshank Redemption. That's top 5. That's easily top 5 for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was down in my honorable mentions down here.
I can watch that movie over and over again, never get tired of it.
Yep. Yep. Oh, and I left out Aliens.
Oh.
Aliens did not make the cut. Is that on your list? I mean, where would that be?
I
mean, it'd be in the discussion for like, if you wanted to stretch it to like top 40, it would definitely make the list. I would guess. Somebody said Gangs of New York.
Man, we're almost forgetting a newer movie. Infinity War. Infinity War is an all-timer.
Yeah, I don't know where to put it yet. It's gonna have to. It's gonna have to like sort of simmer another year or two. before I can know exactly where to put it. But yeah, it's unbelievable.
That has to be. It has to be in your top 20. I mean, I walked out of that movie after Infinity War thinking, man, that was an all timer. I don't get that feeling too many times walking out of a movie theater, but that was like, this is an all time classic.
Let's see. What are some of the other ones? Some people said Spaceballs.
Yeah, I like Spaceballs.
Old Yeller. Glenn Ross. That's not a bad. It's also kind of a critical darling, I know, but it's a pretty good flick.
I got a different take for you now. What are some bad movies that you like? Bad movie.
I could put a list of 100 together there.
I mean, that we all love bad movies. And when it comes on, you can't stop watching. What?
I ran a horror website for years. So, I mean, they're all bad movies, just about, in critical terms. Most horror movies are not, you're not going to put them in the same category as something like Unforgiven or, The Godfather or anything like that. So I probably like 500 bad movies,
I got one that I like. I don't know why I like this movie, but I do. American Ninja Part 4. That movie was terrible. Absolute garbage.
I can't remember much about it.
Michael Dudikoff was working for the Peace Corps, and they had the other guy from American Ninja 3 in it. And he's working like for the CIA. And he has to go and fight, and because Steve James has already died, I believe, so he wasn't in that movie. So him and Michael Dudikoff worked together, and try to fight this Middle Eastern terrorist. It's pretty bad, man, but I like it.
Oh wow! I left Christmas Vacation off my list.
Yikes! European Vacation is my favorite one out of those.
Oh, really?
I love European Vacation. Maybe because that's like the first one I ever saw when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
But Christmas Vacation is really good, though.
That makes sense. That's our big Christmas movie, it and Die Hard. Braveheart. Yikes.
Ooh, yeah. Braveheart is all-timer.
Yeah, we left Revenge of the Nerds.
I love Revenge of the Nerds.
I assume that's what he means, nerds. Maybe he's calling us nerds. I'm all right with that. I'm comfortable with that. Motel Hell. Wow, I ain't thought about Run Navy. That's a horror flick.
Oh, Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive.
Joe K470 said that. I like that.
Petro says Willow. Petros also said Sausage Party and Suicide Squad. Yeah, I like Suicide Squad. I wouldn't put it in my top 100, but I like it.
I tell you what I really love. Ip Man. With Donnie Yen. The Ip Man movies. About Bruce Lee's karate master, Kung Fu master. With Donnie Yen. Okay. Yeah. Part 1, part 2. Really good. You never seen them? I think they're on Netflix.
No.
They're all timers. They're in Cantonese, so I think they're subtitles.
Ron Navy just threw out the original Highlander.
I love the original Highlander.
I like Highlander too, actually. The Quickening. I saw it in the theater, come to think of it.
Yeah. Man, I was just about to sing I was just about to sing Queen just now. Princess of the Universe, when he brought up Highlander.
Yeah. That's the one that had
Sean Connery
and Michael Ironside was in part 2. Phantasm. The dog show just brought up.
Yeah. And the guy that played Savage Opress, he's in the original Highlander. Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown played.
Yeah. Yeah. There can be only one.
Yes.
Let's
Petro
see,
CR says Robin B. Hood, and Robin Hood was good. Robin B. Hood was actually with Jackie Chan. But he's like a thief, and they actually find a baby, and so he like has to like raise a baby, but he's a thief. That's another Hong Kong Cantonese movie. It's pretty good.
Dr. Brian Stein says Mary Poppins.
Which one?
I don't know why. I don't know. I assume the old one.
Yeah, Bohemian. I really like Bohemian Rhapsody. Rami Malek was exactly like Freddie Mercury. You know, calling everybody a darling.
Just like him for sure.
Huh?
Let's see. We've got 18 watching right now. History of the World Part 1. Spaceballs. I've seen Spaceballs a couple of times. Ron Navy. Rondo says Mean Girls and Legally Blonde are guilty pleasures. I watch it with my wife. That's pretty good.
I've never seen Legally Blonde. Doesn't look like anything I would want to watch. Oh, Blazing Saddles. That's a good movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Blazing Saddles.
That's from the 70s though.
I don't mind 70s movies. I'll watch 70s movies all day long.
But I think that was like 1972, I think.
Yeah.
So
and there was a Gene Wilder movie with Harrison Ford. I can't remember what it was called, but that's one of my I like that flick.
Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford?
Yep. Yeah. They had a movie together in the 70s. Why can't I remember the name of that movie?
I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was a Western, or it was a comedy. Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket. That is a classic. That has to be in the top 20. Full Metal Jacket. Love that movie. Just the boot camp scenes alone should put that movie in the top 20. With Arlie Emery and Matthew Modine.
Hey, John, is my video buffering real bad? Because if it is, I'll cut the camera off.
Yeah, just turn the camera off. It's buffering kind of bad.
All right.
But yeah, Full Metal Jacket. Would that be anywhere in your top 50?
Oh, wait a minute. It wants to cut access to. Wait a minute.
No, it shouldn't. If you just scroll up to the top and just scroll around the camera, it says turn camera off. Like watch mine. See, my camera's just off now. And then I just click it again and I can turn it back on.
It's trying to block access.
Hey, there you go. Oh no, you didn't. Forget it. Just deal with it.
All right. I was more worried about people on the replay, but that's cool. Overboard. To the Titans. Hey, John. It's almost 7.
Man, we've been going for like 2 hours, man. I didn't even realize it. Man, we were just having so much fun talking about all these different movies. So I haven't had it.
We
started like a little after 5.
Yeah, I that's kind of what I wanted the show to be about too, was, it's going to be Star Wars, but I want the ability to get into there I go. I want the ability to get into other things. Like top movies and top actors and things like that. I think that sort of thing is fun.
Right. Ooh, here's another one I love. Bit Trouble in Little China. John Carpenter.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah,
that's a great one. Somebody else also brought Clash of the Titans, 1981. Harry Hamlin. I love that movie. Are you talking about cheap animation? You don't like that movie?
Not at all.
Oh, man, I love that movie.
No. I remember thinking it was awful even as a kid. I remember going, oh, that looks awful.
Do you like that one or the new one better? Or hate it?
Is that the one with Sam?
Yeah, Sam Worthington. Yeah.
No, I'd probably say I like the new one better.
Oh, I like
but
the
I
old one
really
better.
like either one of them, to be honest with you. I mean, you're asking me to pick between, bad and bad.
Rondo
I
says.
like either one of them.
Rondo says, "What? John Matrixx talks movies? Who knew?"
Yeah, Footloose and Dirty Dancing. Oh, the Matrixx.
Oh yes, the Matrixx.
Yeah, the
Ooh,
Matrixx.
that's got to be top 20. Got to be
What?
top 20.
I'm gonna bring the house down. The Matrixx is overrated. Boom.
What?
Yep.
Okay. This guy just said the Matrixx is overrated, and yet he has The Force Awakens above Terminator 2.
It's good. Ooh, somebody just said a good one.
That
Usual Suspects. That's a great flick.
That is just heresy what you said.
I think I actually liked the Matrixx part. Was it part 2 I liked?
Part 3 is the weakest one.
Yeah, I like part 2 the best. Don't get me wrong, they're good. Okay, I'm not saying they're bad movies. I enjoyed all of them, and I do watch them over and over. I think sometimes people put them up in that Star Wars territory, the elite of the elite, Terminator 2 kind of, and I just don't. I guess I don't see it. But I know there are people out there that feel that way about those movies, though.
Oh, did you hear that that Bill and Ted may be coming out at the end of this year?
Yeah, they're coming back.
Yeah. Alex Winters looks older.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves looks exactly the same. Keanu Reeves is like 53 years old. He still looks like he's in his late 20s or something.
Oh, Ron Navy with the North Dallas 40.
Hey, D. Carey says that they're unsubbing. Probably unsubbing from you.
Huh? Really? All right. Peace. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the heat, man. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, Petro ZR says I love Bill and Ted. Actually, if you know Mecha Random 42, when you super chat her like $2 or something, she has the Bill and Ted theme, like it said, like excellent. It'll play when you do a super chat. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think she probably uses Streamlabs. I think.
Yeah,
I have Streamlabs, but I've never used it really.
When I get a new laptop, that's what I'm gonna try to get to. Is gonna be Streamlabs.
Yeah. When I get monetized, I think I'll use Streamlabs so I can have those kind of effects.
I've got a pretty good laptop, but even in computer terms, it's starting to get older, and so the processing speed it has issues with when I start doing a lot of video stuff. Like when I go to edit, I have to close out of like everything except my editing software, or it'll lock my whole machine up.
Wow. So guys, we got 15 people watching right now. Smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Rhodes Rants on Star Wars too. Let's get Rhodes Rants.
And subscribe to John Matrixx Talks Movies if you're just floating through.
Yeah, but I hope you've already subscribed to my channel. I gained 1 sub through this live stream already. So,
well, you never know. I mean, people will see something and just pop in. I guess somewhere we should throw Star Wars into the title, because if we're live and somebody searches Star Wars, it will come up. So
maybe I'll next time I'll put Star Wars Bad versus Evil, the Ruler Not To.
Yeah.
But and the hashtag I have Star Wars Episode 9 in that. I don't know if that really helps or not.
Ron Navy, I love Smoking the Bandit. Yeah, and Smoking the Bandit Part 2. That ending in Part 2 is epic.
Ooh, speaking of Superman, Christopher Reeves.
Oh man, yeah,
and absolutely. Superman 1 and 2.
Let me ask you a question. Of course, I think you said the other day, do you have any movies that make you emotional? Like when you see them, you think, because my favorite movies particularly like Star Wars and things, it takes me back to my childhood. When I watch them, I think about my childhood. And man, I can't even like I watched the original trilogy this weekend just because it was on TNT, and I was like getting emotional watching it, because I'm thinking about, it's what we did growing up watching Star Wars,
Yeah.
And those are the movies that mean the most to me, are the movies that will take me back,
Right.
So,
movies that get me emotional. Well, I said Titanic. That was like when I initially saw it, because that was like shocking.
I was seeing it with my own boys. We was all sitting there crying. I can't get over that.
Oh,
man.
The Petro ZR brings up a good one. The Passion of the Christ. Very, very emotional.
I have not seen
during the flogging scene. Oh my God. I was in Virginia watching that movie, and it was just so powerful. Actually Mel Gibson is making a sequel to it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That
was a great movie.
Sniper. You know what? Ron Navy brought up a good one. Mr. Holland's Opus.
I love Mr. Holland's Opus. Love it. Yeah, especially being a musician and composer myself, I can relate to it.
Yeah. American Sniper.
That was good.
Of course, Saving Private Ryan. I mean, the entire time they're trying to storm that beach, it was just rough. Wished Upon a Vlog is here. Hello.
Hello, welcome. Julie. How are you?
I think we were actually about to wrap it up, weren't we?
I guess. We just kept going. Ooh, Dead Poets Society. Yeah. That's another good. See, they're keeping us here with all of
yeah. I mean,
they keep dropping. Yeah, they got some great ones right there. Dead Poets Society is a great movie.
Let's see.
What other ones you got that we haven't thought of yet?
And I don't know. I've been. Let's see. Now we're getting into like the Deadpools of the world. And as much as I like those kind of movies, I'm just like, yeah.
Now Deadpool, I liked it, but
it's just not gonna make my top. It's probably not gonna make my top 40.
Nah.
It might make, maybe if we're going 100.
I mean, would Logan make it?
Logan would certainly come closer to getting there than Deadpool.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
Yeah, me too. I like Logan a lot more.
Logan was, that ending was, people forget Richard E. Grant was in that movie. He's going to be in episode 9. Let's see. What do you guys think about the Knights of Ren? I hope we see them in episode 9. Yes, they will be.
They would definitely be in it. That's 100% guarantee.
Yeah.
Oh, Star Trek II Wrath of Khan.
My favorite Star Trek movie.
That's my favorite one. That's the best Star Trek movie ever.
It might sneak in my top 50.
Okay. You like it better? You like the original Star Trek movies better than the J.J. Abrams one?
No.
I'm not talking about the actual original. I mean, like Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, The Voyage Home.
No. I mean, I liked Wrath of Khan better than I liked Into the Darkness.
Okay.
But I like that Star Trek reboot a good bit.
Yeah. Also, from a composer standpoint, James Horner composed the score for Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, and he's one of my all-time favorite composers. So sad that he died in 2014, I believe.
What kind of music did you compose? Were you classical or?
Yeah, I was a music major in college at first. Okay. So I was heavily inspired. What really kind of got me into music really was John Williams, really, for the most part, watching Star Wars and things like that. Basil Polidorus, who composed the score for Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
That was great. I mean, just so many great composers. Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Man, Hans Zimmer is just so amazing. Yeah. So, but I composed a lot of different styles. Some of the styles you probably wouldn't like because it was like extremely revolutionary. to where there was like no tonal center.
Yeah.
So, but I studied 4 years of like composition, music theory, and composition.
That's pretty wild. I used to mess around and make. Have you ever heard of a software called Fruity Loops?
No.
Well, it's rappers use it. You know my theme song that comes on.
Yeah.
My videos.
Yeah.
Well, my best friend, that's his song.
Oh, okay.
And he was like for about 10 years he was East Texas' biggest rapper. And like he could book a show, and if people knew he was playing, he'd have 500 people show up.
Huh.
So he had a real following. Well, he opened for guys like, you ever heard of like the Chameleonaire and
yeah, I've heard
down in Houston, Bun B?
Yep.
No, yeah, he opened for all them dudes. And but he has since went to music school in Dallas, and now he's an engineer out on rap tours. That's what he does now for a living.
Okay.
Makes good money doing it, so that's pretty wild.
Yeah. But I haven't composed in so long though. I mean, once you get a career going, it's kind of hard, to compose. But I got a lot of friends that are musicians, actually some of them are actually high school music teachers here in Houston. One of my friends, he teaches at Lamar University in Beaumont. We actually were studying composition together. He's one of my real good friends. But he does a lot of jazz and stuff like that. He plays jazz music, and that's what he pretty much teaches.
Immediately, I think UGK.
Yeah, UGK is from Port Arthur. Well, that's technically Beaumont. That's technically Beaumont, though. It's all the same area. Yeah. So Jimmy Johnson's from over there.
My best friend lived in Beaumont. He died 3 years ago, I guess, of lung cancer. But his last home was in Beaumont. The last, I guess, 4 years of his life. He was a Navy guy. He was a guy that had spent time in the Navy. Okay. It's weird. I've got a ton of friends that had been in the Navy at some point.
That's cool.
But, good dude. He was my mentor when I worked in the corporate world. We kind of moved up the ranks together, and I got lucky. I mean, he was my boss for like 10 years in one form or another. And so, as he would take a position, I would usually move up into his old spot, and it just worked out. Everybody liked us, and that's we made a good team.
That's cool. Petro ZR brings up Mad Max. Now, I love Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Mel Gibson, Tina Turner.
If I'm going male, I'm in with Max, it's going to be the Road Warrior.
The first one.
Road
Warrior is the first one, right?
No, there's Mad Max, and then there's the Road Warrior, and then there's Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's a trilogy, but I'd definitely go in the Road Warrior.
I have to watch it. It's been so long.
Oh, man, the Road Warrior's just insane. And I guess there's 4 films now. There's Fury Road.
I haven't seen Fury Road yet.
Oh man,
it's good.
That thing's nuts. That is nuts. But it is a nonstop action ride, but it's almost too nonstop. I mean, there's almost no setup. It's just boom, bam, we're going. It's nuts. It would have been interesting to see what George Miller could have done with the Justice League. So he was originally attached to it. The guy that made Fury Road was originally supposed to do the Justice League. But and that got a long way. They literally had casted everybody in their parts for that movie.
And
then it got canceled. So
interesting.
Anyway. All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, it is 10 after 7.
Yes, so I need to go and eat now. Man, this just flew by so fast.
Yeah, it has. It has.
Yeah.
Well, hey, dude, I'm going to tell you, I mean, I don't know how these people feel about it, but at any point during the week, if you want to jump on for like an hour and we can roll, I'll do it, man.
Yeah.
We can do it. So
yeah, we can do it. I'm probably going to go You got it? You got any plans on Super Bowl Sunday? Because I think I'm gonna go live like noon. Way before the game.
I do not. So I knew you said you might jump on and have somebody on. I was going to ask you about it. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know how long are you going to go? All what game time?
No. We
Okay.
actually may be going to a Super Bowl party, so I may just stay on for like an hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get on with you. Yeah. I'd love it. I'd love it. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's saying this is a great live stream. Happy Super Bowl. So
I think this has by far been the best one. Things
yes,
kind of worked out much better this time. So
mm-hmm.
We're hitting our stride.
Yes.
So
and we're watching the chat. We can't get to everybody, but we are watching the chat. So
yeah, absolutely. Oh, somebody brought up Twister. I love Twister.
Oh, Twister is good. I'm a Bill Paxton fan.
Yeah, me too. Definitely my top 10 favorite actors. Yeah, absolutely.
We can talk about our top favorite actors next time then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we'll talk about that on Sunday. So
let's do it.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys, your folks, on Sunday, 12 noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, or 10 a.m. Pacific Time, wherever you're at. But we have people all from all over the world, so you figure it out.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for joining us. See you guys next time.
Peace.
Bye.
We're out. Till next.